So, as you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about, is the lip balm community dying or not? And if so, why? I've actually been planning on making this video for months, and part of me hesitated in wanting to see if maybe this was just a blip on the radar that was going to remedy itself, and part of me hesitated out of fear of backlash from people who no doubt won't sit here and actually listen to the entire video, will draw their own conclusions on what this is, and then flame me in the comments, because it always happens. But the too long didn't read version of this answer would be kind of, but yes and no, and I'm going to explain why to both of those points. And I'm going to explain on different levels for why I feel it is. So, why do I feel like it's yes and no? Well, I would say the no part of this is that lip balm is a pretty basic thing. It's not going anywhere. Certain brands are, but I mean, just as a thing that exists in the world, yeah, that's never going to go anywhere. And there's always going to be a purpose for it. There's always going to be some people buying it. There's always going to be another influx of little girls coming into the community who are just discovering it, who will breathe new life into said community every so many years, just like there's X number of adults coming into it that are just as enthusiastic about it. Now, those of you who clicked on this video who aren't really part of this, who just don't understand this obsession, probably think this all sounds bonkers and nuts, and I don't blame you, and you know what? Fair enough. But for those of us that this pertains to, it's like a very legit, real thing. So, we legit do have our own community online. It sounds weird, but I don't know how to explain it to people who aren't in it. But anyway, so there's always going to be an influx of people coming into it. There's always going to be lulls of people who were into it, kind of fell out of it, come back to it later. That's always going to be a thing. So it's never going to be 100% gone. Now, before anyone freaks out, am I personally going anywhere? No. Am I changing the format of my channel? No. Am I stopping collecting? No. So just get that out of the way right here, right now, before anyone panics. Don't you worry. I've not lost interest. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying this as a big community-wide thing, as the sea change shift is happening, and I've been observing it for a while. I feel like I should probably talk about this because I've talked about it one-on-one with quite a few of you guys, and you all seem to be in agreement that this is a thing. And a lot of you have wanted me to make this video, so I'm finally doing it. So, as to the why I feel like it is kind of dying part of it, we have to backtrack a little bit. I almost said backpedal. Couple years, maybe 3. I forget which year it was exactly. If I went through my videos, I'm sure I could find it, but there was a summer, a few years ago, where the lip balm community was freaking thriving and booming, and it seemed like every single day people were finding new releases of stuff, and everyone was so enthusiastic and so excited, and everybody was buying so many things, and it was stressful trying to keep up with all the things, but I mean, it was thriving, and there was such a strong community just of people who were from all walks of life, all coming together over this one weird quirk that we all seem to have of what we collect. It was so much fun. And then something happened. It was like, that was where it peaked. It had all built up to that point. And then it went over a cliff, like, right the frick after that. I noticed it around, like, the Christmas time of that year of it slowing down. But I figured it was just a lull and was going to, you know, build back up. It never did. It never did. Not only did it never pick back up, but a lot of you have cited Revo as the first brand that you guys noticed it happening with, where they were putting in less and less effort into their products, and then they were just slowing down their output of products to where they inevitably went under. Like, you can call them. They agree that they're pretty much done. I have called them more than once. They are done. EOS, although they are not under, they are very much still a thing, and they do still release things. Notice how much they slowed down, and of the things they do still release, how much they jacked those prices up, and they're focusing more on the higher end ones where they can make more money per purchase than the lower end ones. That's why they weeded out so many of the classic flavors, so they could focus their time and energy on the more expensive junk, so that even if less people are buying, they will still make their money back in fewer purchases. Shady business tactics, but I mean, I understand from a business standpoint why they're doing that. Chapstick, they're always going to be a thing. I don't think we have anything to worry about them going under as a company, but do note how much they slowed down too. Like, they were still trying to pull it out last summer, but this year, nothing. They had that Valentine's Day pack and the spring pack, and like nothing ever since. Radio silence. With smaller brands, even the indie brands, BeatleBabe went 100% under. They're done. They're gone. Crazy Rumors retired, like, over half their flavors. They brought in some new ones, but they also took a hard hit to where, you know, they're on thin ice now, where we're worried that they're gonna be next. Soft Lips, who were huge, have all but gone under at this point. They still have, like, a couple flavors of the skinny sticks that they still sell. They're, like, the most basic ones. The cubes are gone. All the other stuff, gone. So it seems like a matter of time until they sell out, like, that old stock, and it's like, oh my god, are they the next ones to officially shut down? I think they are. They are, like, right on the brink of being donezo. They have not added a new product in, like, a year and a half, at least. I don't think they're going to. I think they're done. I've tried to reach out to them at the corporate level. They have not responded to any of my messages, so that's a thing. Lip Smackers, despite the fact that they've had as many releases as they have, back to back to back, notice they're generally not the normal standard sticks that they always traditionally were. It's the stuff like the Zoom Zooms that they can get like $5 a pop out of, or the little soda cups, or the emoji bombs, where they're the more expensive ones, so even if they sell fewer of them, it won't matter, because they're still making their money back on it. And they know kids want to collect things that look like toys, so they know darn well people are going to buy those up, even though they're more expensive. It's like evil genius marketing, but I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. Baby Lips, they're another huge player? Also, more or less seemingly done. They have not had a new release in years. Like, the last ones that they had were overseas, and even of the overseas ones now, it's been years. So, that's a thing. There is so many more examples I could bring to the table here. I could be here all day talking about these. I don't think I need to. All you guys have to do is your own homework on this one. You'll see that all the big brands have either slowed down or gone under. And the ones who are trying to make things look all rosy on the surface, if you look at what their business practices are, you can tell that they were hemorrhaging money and they are trying to patch the wound in any way they can. It's sad, but that's the reality of it. I think this is the downfall that had to follow that huge peak of, here, we're just gonna throw all the things at you all at once, boom, 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 on a daily basis, yeah! And then they realized, oh my god, this was the worst thing we ever did. We lost so much money on this deal. Yeah, that. Even Taste Beauty, who, like, were releasing things left and right all over the place, yeah, they haven't stopped, but notice you don't really hear about them releasing new things too much anymore. And when you do, it's usually the more expensive figural ones. So it's another example of that, but they were releasing things left and right, and all of a sudden, it's very quiet. One that I'm happy went under. Remember how much I hated Moi lip balm brand? Yeah, they went under in 2016. Possibly, because of yours truly. But, whoops! Maybe I shouldn't have talked so much shit about them. Oh, sorry. Don't sue me. Anyway, yeah, they 100% went under, and I don't think anyone misses them, but it's just another brand that just, it's done. It's done. They were done that year. The Bath & Body Works Liplicious, they're done. They only have like a few of the Mentha line now, I think, that they still sell, and that's it. So, just saying, not sure, is it a sign of the economy, or is it a sign of just people have hit burnout point? So, that was the brand's end of it. Now, for the people side of it. A lot of the community, admittedly, is little girls, tween girls, teen girls. Boom, boom, boom. Ones that, you know, they're young, they're excited about makeup, but they're not necessarily old enough to wear makeup yet, so they kind of, like, hold themselves over with, like, nail polish and lip balm. Every little girl does this, just about. Myself was included. I clearly never outgrew it, but, you know, most of them, when they finally hit an age where they can start using real makeup, you watch how fast they bail on the whole lip balm collecting thing, so they can buy real makeup. It's a normal, healthy thing. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just making an observation that that's why all of a sudden they, like, drop off the face of the planet out of the community. Because they, like, hit that magic age, and they don't really need it anymore. I mean, they'll have a couple just for, you know, normal people uses with it, but they don't collect it anymore. Then there's people that, like, hit their 20s and 30s who had been collecting, and not necessarily lost interest, but, you know, they grew up, they had more important things they had to start spending their money on, like starting a family and shit, like making it on their own. Therefore, they couldn't afford to just throw every cent they got at lip balm. You know, kind of a much healthier, more sane way of doing things, honestly. And on that note, a lot of people just got really upset with the whole more culture of this community of he who has the, or I guess she who has the most toys wins, essentially, and everyone trying to outdo the other to have the biggest collection of anyone for... Why? I don't know why. Bragging rights? I don't know. It's not like you get a frickin' prize if you have the biggest collection. I mean, yeah, a few of us were trying to go for the world record, but, yeah, that dream kind of went out the window when we discovered how quickly a lot of them go bad. And do we really want to be holding on to this shit that went bad? Hell no. So, realizing that and then decluttering those, like, yeah, there is no way to actually do this in a healthy, sane way. So, a lot of people just gave up on that mentality. Some, like myself, are still collecting new releases and things, but a lot of people just stopped. A lot of them decided to go on a no-buy until they use up what they currently have to make sure that it gets used up before they buy anything else. More power to them. I don't have that kind of willpower. I highly respect those of you who did that, because a lot of the community finally hit the point where they needed to do that. If I were a sane person, I would probably do that, but I am clearly not, so maybe one day I'll eventually hit a point where I've had enough and I'll do that, but currently I'm not there yet. It is what it is. So, but yeah, I'm now noticing a shift from all the people that were once trying to have the biggest collection out of anybody are now the ones doing Project Use It Up and trying to declutter as much as they can and try to use up everything they got and then only buy as they need. Which, again, that's probably a much healthier, more sane way of doing things. I wish them all the best. Again, hopefully I'll eventually hit a mental point where I want that to be a thing, but I'm not there yet. If I'm being honest, I'm not there yet. So, a lot of people hit that point. Even the people who had the biggest lip balm community channels on YouTube seem to have just lost interest and moved on. Like, I don't want to name names, but you all know exactly who I'm talking about, so why beat around the bush? I mean, Lip Balm Addict, yeah, she's kind of tried to rebrand herself into more just makeup. Purple Stars 02, kind of, I don't know what the hell she's doing, but she kind of just is floundering and trying to figure out what to do instead now, but it seems like, yeah, she has also kind of lost the interest in it. A lot of the bigger channels like that have moved away from lip balm and are, like, doing different things now. And those of you who follow my channel have definitely noticed a shift from practically every video being lip balm to a much more even keel spread of other things interspersed with it. That's why I say I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm not going to stop doing what I've been doing. But because there is so little generalized interest in that from other people now, I have to do other videos in addition to those just to make ends meet. So, not to mention, I never created this particular channel is solely one subject. Ever. Ever. At any point in the history of this channel, be it lip balm or anything else, it was never intended for just one thing. Even if you go back to the start of my channel with my shitty singing videos, there was lots of stuff that used to be on there that I've since deleted out that now I kind of wish I could get back, but that's neither here nor there. It was never intended to be any just one thing. I have other interests and hobbies too that I would also like to talk about on here. And I'm finally starting to get up the guts to do that and finding that, people do actually care about those things as well, so with that in mind, I'd like to also showcase them. That's not taking away from the reviewing, I'm still doing them. Granted, because there's been fewer releases, I haven't done them necessarily on a daily basis like I'd been doing for the longest time. Granted, I still have a large stockpile of things to review, but it is what it is. I'm just saying, because there is dwindling interest on the community level, I also have to respect that and, flow with the times as well, and allow myself to integrate other things into this channel that aren't just the one thing. Because again, this was never intended to just be a lip balm channel. That is why it was never in the title of the channel. Just saying, it just worked out that way. Incidentally, lots of you guys know the story. I started reviewing as a joke initially, and then it took off, so I ran with it, and then I realized I'm actually kind of good at this, so I kept doing it. I do genuinely enjoy them. I do, or I wouldn't waste my money on them. But, at the same time, I do have other interests and hobbies and things to talk about, so I do that as well. And if you guys are weird about that, I don't blame you if you unsub, but I hope that you'll stick around, because I think you might find other things you may enjoy too that I do here. So, I don't know, just as a whole, it does seem like interest is waning. Like, even looking at my analytics and looking at not only what is being watched the most, but has the most audience retention time and what's earning the most money, there are very few lip balm videos that actually make it into that list anymore. And it lists like the top 500. There are like a small handful that do, usually if there's like a new release, especially if it's from EOS. EOS seems to be the one exception to the rule where interest hasn't faded that much, so those still make it in. But the other brands, it's very rare they ever pop up in my analytics because so few people are apparently watching them. Again, I'm not going to stop filming them because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy using them and stuff. But, being real with you guys, it's very clear your interests lie elsewhere. So, just saying, that is why I do lots of other types of videos now, in addition to those. A lot of people who were running channels that were exclusively that one topic have either shut down, they've started new channels that have nothing to do with that, or they have switched over into use it up mode and now they're detailing their decluttering and Project Pan journeys. Which, again, I have nothing against. You do you. You do whatever makes you happy. But it is an observation. One other major shift, though. I wish I didn't have to mention this. The catty drama in this community. I would expect this from the little girls. I would expect this from the teenagers. But no. It has been from literally grown-ass adults for most of it. For most of the shittiest, pettiest drama. Again, I am not naming names. I am not calling out specific incidences here. But a lot of you who have talked to me one-on-one know exactly what I'm talking about, either because it was you sharing your stories with me of what you have experienced, or me sharing with you what I've experienced, but there is a lot of it, and it is a huge turnoff. And it has run a lot of people straight out of this community to where they have sworn they will never come back because of it. And I can't say as I blame them, because this is literally insanity, the kind of drama there has been. Things there should never be drama over in the first place. There is, and it's from grown adults who should have better things to do with their time than to instigate this, and poke it with a stick, and try to ruin people's lives over it. Like, what the hell? What the hell? I don't understand. Frankly, I don't want to understand, because I feel like if I don't get that mentality, then I must be doing something right. So, I'd be worried if I did understand that mentality, but it has run a lot of people straight out. Yes, there's been lesser drama with, like, the teenagers and such, but I mean, it's just minimalistic teenager drama shit that comes with the territory of them being teenagers. Most people just like, whatever. Yeah, no. That is not what I am talking about. I'm talking about the grown-ass adults. So, just saying. Just saying. It's wrong, it shouldn't be happening, and it's to a point where on a lot of the different social media platforms that aren't YouTube, people are literally even scared to post anymore, or if they do, they feel like they have to do it under an alias, or they feel the need to have to, like, shut down accounts because it gets so bad. And that is stupid. That is so stupid. And I wish it weren't that way. I hope it remedies itself, but so far, it only seems to be getting worse and more frequent. It's a large part of why I barely touch Instagram anymore, because it's gotten so bad. And it really kills me, because I love Instagram a lot. I started a second secret Instagram just to not have to deal with that shit at all. Literally, entirely new group of people. Just, it's not even a personal Instagram, it is like one specific fandom, and that is it, and it is not this one. It just, so much less headache. So much less headache. It doesn't mean I'm abandoning the main one. I still occasionally post on it, but it's why I've kind of fallen off the face of the planet on that one, because I'm just so done with the drama. I am not dealing with it. Just screw it. And that is a point that a lot of you guys have hit too. So I don't feel alone in making that statement. So, anyways, it's so weird. I mean, frankly, like, our community, like, if we're being honest, we know damn well we are weird as hell people anyway, just for collecting this one specific type of thing to the degree we do. But it takes a special breed of crazy to just spark nonstop drama over it, and it's unnecessary, and it shouldn't be happening. But, I don't know, there is a shift that has happened, and I don't know. I don't know when it's gonna pop back up the other side, or if it will. Maybe it's just kinda over. I don't know. Again, I'm not personally going anywhere. I am not stopping what I do here on this channel unless it should hit a point where there is literally just no new releases of things anymore. If it hits that point and I run out of things to review, then I guess, yeah, that would be a thing that would stop these, but I don't see that ever 100% happening, so I don't think you guys have to worry about me going anywhere. That is the only instance where that would happen. Or if I just 100% lost interest. I don't see that happening either, since this has kind of been a lifelong thing for me to be interested in. Obviously, I didn't always review them, but I did always collect them, but not to the insane extents that I have in recent years since I started reviewing. So I don't know, guys, but I am not intending on going anywhere. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I'm not intending on going anywhere, but I know that a lot of people have just kind of bailed on it. So, if you're in that camp, you're not alone. Feel no guilt over it, because a lot of the community has done the same thing at this point. It's sad, but I've noticed with things that are based on a bandwagon trend type mentality, the bubble eventually bursts. like, the whole, like, squishy community thing that you guys were poking me with a stick. Why don't you get on that bandwagon? I saw the writing on the wall. I knew exactly from this one exactly what that was gonna go like. It's already kinda over. I mean, some people are still buying them, but for the most part, it's kinda over. The slime thing, it's already pretty much over. Fidget spinners, it's over. I mean, it's the same thing. It's a flash in the pan trend. It gets super crazy popular. Companies cash in on it, and then they jump ship and they run away to the bank with their money. And then the people who were collecting them, you know, because there's nothing to continue buying, lose interest because there's nothing to keep collecting for the most part. There's like the few holdouts that every once in a while something will come up and we'll still buy them. But apart from us, it's kind of done. And it's sad that that chapter seems to have closed, but when one door closes, one door opens. So it's just a matter of what door is opening for you in place of the one that closed. Because there is always one. You may have to hunt for it. You may feel like you're hunting around in the dark for that doorknob. But it's there. It's there. I personally have been focusing more on my art stuff in its wake. The money that I have saved from not buying lip balm on a literal daily basis. And yes, there was a point where it was on a literal daily basis. If it wasn't from new releases, I was searching on eBay for anything I did not have yet, so that I could find something that no one else had reviewed yet. It was insanity. Now I just basically try to focus on the new releases as they come out, and screw the rest of it. It doesn't matter that much. But, unless it's something really, really, really crazy awesome that I want, which doesn't happen too often. Every once in a while, maybe, but generally, I just worry about new releases now. But, the stuff that I already have, that's older, that's still good, I'm still planning on reviewing. But, I mean, I'm not going out of my way to hit up eBay anymore, unless it's a new release that I just can't find in the store somewhere. But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. But, with the money that I'm saving from not doing that, I have been able to put so much more money into my art. And I'm loving that. Because I didn't think I'd ever be able to afford to do that. And apparently, I could have been doing that all along if I hadn't been spending crazy amounts of money on this. Like I said, I'm still spending some money on it, but I'm not throwing hundreds and thousands of dollars. Yeah, I'm saying it out loud. It sounds insane. It is insane. You guys saw that one video. The crazy, insane, huge lip balm haul video. Yeah, you guys saw it. You saw it. You know. I'm sure some of you guys did the rough math on what that cost. And at that point in time, I had that kind of money to just throw at it because my bank account hadn't been hacked yet, and just about every cent I had stolen from me. Still haven't recouped from that, by the way. Yeah, that's pathetic, but it is what it is. But of what I do still have coming in, what doesn't have to go towards necessities like bills and things and medications has largely gone into either things for this channel or towards my art. And since that is my priority, honestly, it's my artwork more than anything. Even though I'm not even that good at art, I don't care. It's what makes me feel fulfilled. I feel like that makes it worth it. And that's why I've started sharing it more with you guys. Here, I'm going to tilt this down a little tiny bit so I can sit. That's why I started sharing more openly with you guys on this channel about some of the art stuff. I haven't done any actual drawing or painting videos yet. Thus far, I've only started dabbling in the speed coloring videos. Eventually, when I get confident enough to do it to where I feel like I can create a thing with people watching, I will start making those too. I'm still at the point where I find it nerve-wracking even to let you guys watch me color. But that's been the thing with every type of video I've ever done. It's always been nerve-wracking and terrifying when I first start doing it, but I eventually hit a point where I'm so comfy with it, I don't even give it a second thought, I just do it. So I'm sure I'll eventually hit that point with it. I'm still kind of figuring out the logistics of how to best make it work. Since I don't have the most ideal setup for filming with that, I'm kind of just jerry-rigging things together to even be able to make it possible. I'm gonna show you guys a thing. It's kind of hilarious. Oh gosh, so I spent, yeah, you hear it. I bought a mic boom iPod clamp thing, where this clamps on the side of a table. We've got this hingy arm for as high or as low as you want. It has an iPod clamp on it, but it always fell out of it, so I added duct tape to it so it physically cannot fall out of it. Like I said, I jerry-rigged shit together just to make it possible. The best part, after all that work, this isn't even what I generally use to film those. What I usually use for those? I mean, I've done so many in all of my 2 videos I've done. I generally use this guy right here and just bend it to whatever angle I need, so it's what I use for the perler bead videos too, honestly, so just in case you guys were wondering. But like I said, it's not exactly the most ideal because I still haven't managed to get it to where it doesn't shake, but I mean, I'm learning to minimize that anyway, so it's not as bad. But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping to eventually get to a point where I'm confident enough with my work and my abilities to just draw for you guys and do sketchbook tours and things. I want that so badly, you have no idea. But at the same time, the idea of it scares me so badly, because I know I'm no fantastically great artist. I am not one of these amazing art YouTubers that I wish I were. I'm hoping I'll eventually be somewhere in their caliber. I'm not there yet. But in the meantime, till I do get there, I'm sharing the coloring videos with you guys as like putting my toes in the water, getting used to the idea of it, getting used to the angles, getting used to not having my face like this close to the paper because I'm so friggin' nearsighted because I have to keep my head back and away from the paper so it's not blocking the camera. So that also makes it really difficult for me, but still, like I said, it's a learning process. So it's just retraining my brain to sit a certain way and to learn to do the things in a slightly different fashion than I've always done them. So it works for this, I don't know. When I eventually master it for coloring, I'm sure I can master it for drawing, and yeah. I'll probably start with, like, I had this idea about a year ago or so. Pick a series and just start drawing all the characters for you guys on camera one by one. And just get used to the idea of drawing. They'll either come out good, or they'll come out so hilariously bad that you guys can point and laugh at how bad they are. But it will be practice for drawing on camera and getting used to the idea of doing that, so doing like actual legit art won't be so scary. But I'm babbling. This is totally off topic. This took a turn somewhere in there, but yeah, is the lip balm community dying? Kinda, yeah, kind of, but not 100%. I would say it's on life support right now, basically, because there are still some players in it who are still active in it, like myself. As long as there's even a few of those, there will be some type of community. If we ever all jump ship on it, then I think we can label it dead. But until when and if that happens, I'd say it's at least on life support. Could it recover? Maybe. I'm thinking probably within the next few years there might be a sudden, like, going up the slope again and starting to climb, and it'll eventually peak again and it'll probably fall off cliff again. That's just, it's how trends go. It's how any trend goes. Because almost every trend, unless it's something weird like fidget spinners, but most trends, when it's something with staying power, will go through periods of popularity, and then it just goes into sleep mode, essentially. Until all of a sudden it gets popular again. I have a feeling that's going to be the case here. Unfortunately, some of the brands that already went under won't get to enjoy that, but there will probably be new brands in their place by the time that happens, if it happens. So, I mean, it's not game over, guys. It's not end game, I don't think, but it definitely fell off a cliff, if we're being honest. So, anyways. Hopefully this is satisfactory for all of you who've been asking and begging me to make this video already. I see you. Yeah, especially one in particular who has been asking me, like, weekly for the past 3 months to make this video. Here you go! Anyways, if you guys liked it, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. What are your thoughts on this topic? Feel free to chime in on anything you feel like. On topic, off topic, I don't care. Just chime in. Make sure you follow me on social media. They're all listed down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, which does help a lot, please donate. The donation link is down in the description. So anyway, guys, until next time. Bye-bye.